everyone, I'm Chloe from Scratch Magazine. I'm joined today by the founder of Staffordshire Nail Academy, Hannah Garbett, and today she'll be talking to us all about brand ambassadors, how they can help your brand, and really why they might be a really useful thing for you to have in your business. So this video will be saved afterwards, and we'll be joined. It'll be saved onto the Scratch TV on the website. It'll be also saved onto the YouTube as well as on our Facebook and our IGTV. So if you miss it, then you can catch up later on. But Hannah, would you actually introduce yourself a bit further?
Hi, I'm Hannah, as you said. Thank you very much. Myself and my husband run Staffordshire Nail Academy Limited, also known as SNA Professional. It's been a bit of a whirlwind. I started off as an educator, nail tech, then educator, and then branched out into distributing products and supplying our local techs and training in the area. So yeah, business obviously with the pandemic has gone national rather than just local. So it's amazing this last year.
Oh, great. So firstly, would you actually explain a bit about what a brand ambassador is?
Okay, brand ambassador is, I suppose it's all very, very personal to everybody, isn't it? A brand ambassador to me is somebody that believes in the brand that they're representing, that they already use their products. And that they want to shout from the rooftops about how good the product is, and also to help people as well. There's so many products and different uses for them out there that I think it can be a bit overwhelming sometimes. So they're there to help potential customers and give an honest opinion, I think, really about products that are available to them.
Definitely, and obviously you've recently introduced Yeah, so you've obviously introduced some to your team, but you've called them brand specialists, I believe. So what made you want to introduce them to your team?
We had 6 brand ambassadors previously that were local girls, just using the products that we taught. And then we thought, because we'd grown in the last year, we wanted to acknowledge, I think, people that had already purchased from us, but also the technicians that don't get the recognition all the time. And we wanted to give something back to them. Also helping other people that potentially didn't know about the brand beforehand. And obviously, as we know, social media is such a massive part of business life at the moment, and will be, I think, for the future. It was important that we added and we grew the team so that we could have a bigger reach.
That's great to hear. And so for your brand, what sort of duties do your brand specialists have within the brand? What sort of things do they work on?
Okay, so our specialists, we changed the name from ambassador to specialist because we wanted people to know that they actually know the products, that they are specialists in the brands that we carry. So their role for us is to obviously know what they're talking about. So we're going through training with them at the moment, teaching them how to use the products to the best of the product's ability, so that they can also know their flaws, not just the great things about them, but they can also pick up on the negatives, I suppose. I think people are frightened of negatives, but you need to have the negatives to improve. So they're there to help people answer questions, especially on the quick tips system that's been going crazy at the moment. So the more information that they can give to people is fantastic. And also to show people what we've got. So they promote us on their Instagram pages, their Facebook pages, and answer questions that come in from people that we might potentially not be able to reach, or if they can't get hold of us. It's not very often that you can't get hold of us, but if they need a question answering quite quickly, we've got how many ambassadors have we got now? 18 specialists we've got. So there's always somebody around to be able to get a quick answer off. So yeah, it's just to kind of help us out, and also it's to grow them as well, not just us. We want to grow their social media presence and their I suppose their recognition. We want them to be recognised for the great techs that they actually are.
Well, that's great. And obviously every brand has their own way of recruiting their brand ambassadors. So how did you go about recruiting yours?
We made ours work for it massively. I put them through their paces. We had an application process, and we had about 270 applicants come through that I had to sift through, and it was really difficult because everybody was so amazing. Where we asked questions like how long they'd been using the product, what their speciality was, what they really enjoy about the industry, who has inspired them in the industry, where they see themselves in a year's time, in 3 years' time, in 5 years' time, and what actually being an ambassador would mean to them. So it kind of gave us an idea of the person that we were potentially going to be working with. So once they got through that stage, we selected 25 to go through to the next part, and the girls that got through called it the SNA factor. They felt like they were on X Factor or Pop Idol or something like that. And that was just where we set out what we kind of expected from them and what they could expect in return from us, because we didn't think it was just about us picking them, it was about them picking us as well and wanting to work alongside us. And that's really important to us, that they enjoy and they believe in what they're promoting, really. So yeah, after that we've ended up with 18 specialists that moving forwards are now getting training. They do get discounts off their product purchases as well, discount off their training, and they will also be getting new product releases to actually put through their paces before we release them out on sale, so that we can actually have constructive criticism. They can critique things, and if things don't make the grade, then they don't get put on sale.
Definitely. So it sounds like almost being a brand ambassador could be part of like a nail tech's almost like education in a way, like they learn more about the industry and things like that. So what have you noticed about your brand ambassadors? Like how have they developed since they started working with you?
I think they've all gained a lot more confidence. They've really gelled together as a group, which is really lovely, especially in the pandemic that we're going through. To have other people being there and knowing that other people are going through exactly the same thing, I think it's made them feel a lot better and made them feel a lot more confident in their own abilities, in their work, and showing that we can all get along and we can be nice to one another and support one another, and we don't need to be in competition.
And so obviously the COVID-19 pandemic has really changed things up. So how have your brand ambassadors worked virtually, obviously in the fairly new role for some of them? How have they been able to work virtually and learn more about the brand at the same time?
We've been doing Zoom training sessions over the last few weeks. We send them over information, so that we send over videos that we also use alongside our training as well, so that they can see what goes on behind closed doors. We have a group chat, which is constantly going off like crazy. Not always about nail related things, other things as well. So we've been keeping in touch digitally, and via emails, and they've been using the reels on Instagram to show they've been getting some really good results from that. They've been using the people in their household that they've got to do nails on, some doing 2-3 sets of nails a day just to get some content. It's experimenting as well. I think they've changed their nails so many times during lockdown to get that content, like I think a lot of other techs have as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think when obviously salons can reopen, I think nail techs will have developed so many new skills and also up their skills as well. Like a lot of techs went back to basics as well.
That's it. Taking this time to be able to, like you say, go back to basics, go back to the beginning, and perfect things that maybe you weren't too great with before. I think for a silver lining, we've actually been able to really push our skills and push our comfort zones, really push ourselves out of our comfort zones.
Definitely. So what advice for those nail techs out there who want to become a brand ambassador so they can really develop their career as a nail technician? Some of them may be thinking like they have to have thousands of followers on Instagram or something like that. So what advice would you give to nail technicians who are wanting to become a brand ambassador?
Don't panic about the followers. Please don't. Something that we wanted to make sure that we looked at was, it wasn't about the amount of followers, it was the quality of work that was produced. It was the fact that they'd already invested in our business. They given their support to us, especially in these crazy times as well, when money is quite tight. They don't have to spend their money with us. So the fact that they did showed a massive amount of loyalty to us as well, really. So be loyal to the brand that you want to represent. Be honest. Don't expect everything for free. I don't mind giving certain freebies out and things like that, but I think a lot of technicians can get frustrated by certain people getting a lot of things free of charge, and then they're expected to purchase them themselves. So yeah, be prepared to spend some money on products that you like, and don't be frightened to tell the brand that you want to be an ambassador for if there's something that you don't like. But yeah, please don't panic about the amount of followers. If you are approachable, if you create good content, if you have beautiful work, then that's all you need. It's not all about 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 followers, because we're still only on 6,300 followers, so it's not massive. We not everybody looks for followers.
So obviously nail techs, when they want to become a brand ambassador, would you recommend that they maybe do it at a certain stage of their career? Do you think there's a certain stage that it fits best into, at the beginning, more advanced? What would you really suggest?
Yeah, I think sorry, I've just had an email pop up on my screen and it's threw me off completely. At the beginning of their career, I think what's really important is they get to try lots of different products at the beginning of the career. So jumping straight into a brand ambassador role would be a little bit too premature, if I'm completely honest. I think you need to have a play around with lots of different products, because there are so many out there, to find what you like, so that you can compare what's good and what's not so good in brands. So potentially be in the industry for a year and a half, maybe even longer. Just hone your skills, and find a brand that suits you, down to customer service, down to products, because it's not just the product that you're raving about, it's also the actual company as a whole. If they've got great products but don't give great customer service, it's going to make you look bad as well.
I think I completely agree with that. So have you got any tips for brands maybe starting out their recruitment process for their brand ambassadors? Obviously you've completed yours yourself. Have you got any tips?
I would say, and please don't think this sounds horrific, but don't just settle for people with loads of followers. Really go out of your way to delve deep into people and ask them questions. Don't just go off face value from social media. It's asking questions, and it's getting to know the nail techs as individuals, not just from a screen. That's really important, I think. And think about giving back to those people that already purchase from you. Don't go out looking for a brand ambassador that potentially hasn't used your products before. The people that have already invested in you are going to be the ones that are going to be loyal to you and actually know about your products already and have a vested interest in promoting your products, not just because you're giving them to them.
I think those are some really good tips. Thank you so much for joining me today, Hannah. Hannah,
thank you for having me.
No problem. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. And Hannah has kindly said that she will go through and reply to any ones that you have about being a brand ambassador or brand ambassadors in general. Like I said before, this live will be saved onto our IGTV. It will be saved onto our Facebook platform, so you can go back and rewatch it. And it will also be on our YouTube and our Scratch TV section of the website. So thank you very much for joining me.
And thank you. I'll pop all our ambassadors in the comments as well, so that people can go give them a follow.
Oh, brilliant. That'd be really great. Thank you. And thank you so much for joining me, and have a lovely weekend.
Thank you. And you, Chloe. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.